Hey everyone, we have days left before they say it's gone. Before they say that we'll have catastrophic levels of diesel left, which will affect everything. That's right, affecting you in ways that you aren't even thinking about. Much worse than I thought. A diesel crisis update for you coming right up. Welcome back to all of our subs. And again, I thank you for all the great comments down below. If you're brand new here, like news that affects you, prepping tips and emergency preparedness how-tos weekly, be sure to hit the notification bell so you guys can stay up to date. Let's jump into this one. So I dropped this video just a couple days ago about the reality of what could be coming with this diesel crisis shortage. If you missed it, I'll leave it up at the end screen, also down in the description below. Definitely important information for you that could affect your daily life. Now, this short clip I want to show you, politics aside, favorites aside, but I want to show you what was pointed out by what Biden said.
I have one final question.
Would he close down the oil industry?
It falls.
Would you close down the oil industry?
By the way, I would transition from the oil industry, yes.
Oh,
I would
that's
transition.
a big statement.
It is a big statement.
That's a
because
big statement.
I would stop.
Why would you do that?
Because the oil industry pollutes significantly.
I see.
Here's the deal. But
That's
you
a
can't
big
do
statement.
That. Well, if you let me finish the statement, because it has to be replaced by renewable energy over time. And I'd stop giving to the oil industry, I'd stop giving them federal subsidies. He won't give federal subsidies to the gas, to solar and wind.
Yeah.
Why are we giving it to oil industry?
We actually do give
All right.
it to solar and wind.
We
And
have
that's
one
maybe the
final
biggest
question.
statement in terms of business. That's the biggest statement.
Okay.
Because
We have
basically
one
what he's
final
saying
question,
is he is
Mr.
going to
President.
destroy the oil industry. Will you remember that, Texas? Will you
Okay.
remember that, Pennsylvania, Oklahoma?
Vice President Biden, let me.
Many folks, despite who they voted for, may have looked at this clip through a different lens back in the day. So let's jump into the real things that people are seeing. We have been flooded with crazy information, lots of good comments, insider reports, professional reports, details, insider stories, information that I thought you would want to know about. We've also got insider reports from truckers that have been in the industry for a lifetime. And remember, if this strikes up any information, observations, please leave us a comment down below. Everyone's reading the comments, and please share this video to get this information out. Let's dive into it. We've got a subscriber, MT Prepstetter, writes in saying, just an update you might be interested in. Closest city to where I live is a major refinery, also home to one of the largest air bases in the Northwest. In the last 3 years, there have been crazy expansions and construction to the oil refinery. They demolished everything on the property adjacent to them, and in 8 months they've set up massive pipes, and the structure is smaller but similar to the original. Crazy that in all of this they are moving forward. It makes me wonder if the base isn't the reason for it. I live along the highway that leads into town, and I can stand at my fence on a weekly basis and watch armored trucks and semi-loads with helicopters, escorts, sirens, and the whole 9 yards. Growing up, I have seen this periodically, but never weekly. I cried this week as they went by. I may be a prepare-minded person, but I think reality finally hit me hard. And that's just it, guys. It's hitting a lot of people hard. Even the people that have been sleepwalking, they are starting to consider prepping now. Definitely getting ready. Definitely some emergency preparedness on a lot more people's mind these days. Jasper 357 writes, I drive a truck on a dedicated run hauling food product on the East Coast. My company has confirmed that they are expecting a fuel shortage and they have no solution to the problem. If we run out of diesel, the trucks are going to stop. And I don't think people realize how this stuff gets to the shelves at the stores they shop at, but they're fixing to find out. That's right. Everything is delivered via diesel. Spirit Free writes, Holland out of diesel fuel by December 5th. Trucks delivering food from distribution to local supermarkets is the biggest concern on the short and long agriculture and shipping. BCTW 900 writes, I rent parking spots to truckers. The lot has been full for the last week. Drivers say low freight rates and lack of fuel have them parked. This seems like it's going to be a growing concern, a bigger problem. Joan writes in, my son-in-law is a 50-year trucker out of Florida. He says that there's no shortage of diesel in his state. He thinks that it's political hype. I hope he's right. He now drives from Tampa to Stark, Florida, and Fort Myers to Miami Harbor and back and forth all day, each day. Sees no shortages of anything there at least. Those of you in that area, is that what you're seeing? Then you got comments like that think this is all just hype, fear-mongering possibly by the government. They want you to be in fear. They're trying to take the focus off of something else. Or there's the comments that say it's all about inducing more and more funding. Relief bills, emergency funding, which is further tanking our country because we all know there's other options out there that are not being taken advantage of. Jennifer writes in, I'm in Maine. We're already out of K1 up here. It's sitting out on a barge. Yesterday there was word of blackouts in New England, right at the beginning of winter. Thanks, government. Way to look out for our citizens. I think a lot of people are feeling that same way. Richard writes, seeing diesel now from $5.20 to $6 a gallon throughout the Midwest within 250-mile radius. Just a week ago, it was $4.50. The farm fields completely dead. Hundreds of thousands of acres. I have seen farmers combining in dust bowls. They are doing what being said, piling the grain in fields. The crops look very thin with plants that look very bad. Yields have to be very low. Does not take a brain surgeon to see what's happening to farmers until you see it firsthand. Driving over Main River brides, see barges piled up. This is bad, beyond belief, folks. Listen to this guy, folks. He is putting out the truth. You will see nothing but mainstream lies on the media. Thank you, Joan. The reality is things are not in a good place right now, and we're heading into winter. See the fresh snow from last night? Eye-opener that winter's coming, which means it's going to be cold. We need heating fuels. We need gas. We need diesel for things to get on the shelves. Very bad time for things to go wrong. Like Ramona says, if the trucks don't deliver it, it'll be hours, not days, for those stores to run out of everything. The frequency that stores get goods to restock those shelves is more often than most people think. I'm going to throw this comment in here by Bray. He's warning, get your meds. I am a vet and I am having problems getting meds from the VA. Make sure you guys talk to your doctors. Do everything you can to get stocked up with your meds. Very important because they also come on rigs fueled by diesel. That reminds me, I haven't mentioned it in a while, but if you guys haven't got a JASE case by now, it's emergency meds that you can order over the phone. Having emergency meds at your home is huge because when you need them, if things get crazy, you won't be able to get them. So having this thing right here on hand, which is unheard of, I think is super important. I'll leave a special link down in the description. All over the phone, super easy. Jason writes in, our country is on the take by the gov. Look what's happening, people. Open your eyes. I am an owner-operator. Since diesel has went up, my operating costs have went up $10,000 a month. When you're seeing videos about getting rid of the middle class, this is what it looks like. Robert writes, good morning. I'm a professional truck driver after almost 30 years around the business. We need to let this all come crashing down. Agendas being pushed are not realistic and will ultimately hurt Americans for years to come. Not to mention our economy. I pray that the professional truck drivers shut it down, whether or not we run out of diesel. Many cannot find a restroom, food when they need it. They have to wait 4 to 19 hours to get loaded or unloaded. To make matters worse, the shipping and receivers will not let you drop the trailer to go find basic human services either. We have drivers out here making what I made in the early 90s. America's truckers are really America's suckers. Truckers is America's sweatshop forced labor. That may seem harsh, however, it is a reality. Not sure what your perception of trucking, but I guarantee you, reality is much different for them. Just wait until June of 2023. If we hang on that long, the professional drivers, the current administration is going to mandate speed limiters on all commercial trucks. For the motoring public trying to get to work each day, good luck. This will have catastrophic effects on your life, the supply chain, and higher costs for everything you purchase. This is also going to cause you to have more interaction with trucks on a daily basis. We don't always like driving alongside them big trucks, which will increase 100-fold the accidents on the road. I know many drivers who will get out of the industry as soon as this is implemented. Why? It is about safety for all of us here. And I do not want to be next to a truck all day on the road. That is very dangerous. Our number one job as a professional driver is to create space around our vehicle to keep everyone safe. Trust me, folks, the new law, which will limit truck speeds to 60 to 65 mile an hour, will be devastating in every aspect of your life, including your own safety. Stay safe. Thanks for that comment. George, UK-based, not yet came across wood theft. Cutting catalytic converters from cars and trucks, yep. Some of those trucks have signs attached claiming converters are locked on. Fuel theft from parked cars. Local train station car park had 2 cars, the same model. Both had their entire front end removed, stolen. Farm equipment, stolen, also targeted. And I told you guys in that last video that things are heating up over in the European countries. Reality of inflation, shortages is setting in. and we're gonna see it next. And you wanna know about them refineries? Bob writes in and says, refineries that didn't open after the lockdown. Phillips, 66 Alliance, Bell, Cash, LA is still closed. Linden, Bell, Shell, Houston is still closed. Tree Base, St. Croix, USVI is still closed. Shell, Convent, St. James, Louisiana is still closed. Martha Martinez, California, and Gallup, New Mexico is still closed. Phillips 66 Rodeo, California is still closed. Holly Frontier, Cheyenne, Wyoming is still closed. Calcasieu Refinery, Lake Charles, Louisiana is still closed. Combined, 1,329,111.5 barrels per day of lost production. The entire fossil fuel industry is under attack by you wonder who. Like he said, getting replaced by renewable energy. And like old Trumpsky said, he's gonna ruin the industry. And isn't that what we're seeing? He called it out years ago, and look what's unfolding. Like I said, politics aside, we just need to focus on what's happening. And what's happening is our fuel industry is under attack. Way too early. We're not ready for renewable energy. Things aren't in place for it. The electricity isn't in place for it. And you look more into it, the whole thing's a train wreck. And if you know more about that, put it in the comments below, because that's a whole other video. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'll keep you guys informed of what I know of. With that, guys, be safe. Don't forget about this video in case you missed it. Keep prepping, keep learning, keep doing. We'll see you guys on the next one.